the guy's in now. Okay, we're live. Okay, we're live. Um, Rodri has been crowned Ballon d'Or winner 2024. It's quite a sad day for football, isn't it? Not to say Rodri is not a good player or does not deserve the award, but looking at the circumstances under which he won the award, hmm. Now we're gonna go into the nitty gritty of everything, and we're gonna discuss if Rodri really deserved to win the Ballon d'Or or Vinicius deserved to win it. Yeah. Um, in my personal opinion, a player like Rodri, it's not totally absurd if he won the Ballon d'Or because he's quite a good player. But when you look at the year under consideration, the year in consideration, you realize that Rodri played his best football in the year that Manchester City won the treble. Now the guy didn't win the Ballon d'Or when his team won the treble, but he comes to win the Ballon d'Or when his team couldn't even get past the quarterfinal stage of the Champions League. Obviously, someone would make a case with um, the Euros, which they won. But bear in mind, the Euros wasn't won only by Rodri. You have players like Danny Carvajal, who equally played a very vital role in Spain winning, that Euros. Um, don't forget the likes of Nico Williams, Danny Olmo, the host of others. So to single Rodri out and to give him a Ballon d'Or, if it is indeed because of um, if it is indeed because of the Euros, that's quite questionable because you realize that a player like Danny Carvajal, who won the Champions League, a defender who scored a Champions League goal in the final, Champions League final goal, yeah, also won the Euros, but was not even a part of the top three. So what exact is the metric or the parameter that is being what are the exact parameters that are being used to vote on these players? And then you think about it that Vinicius Junior, it was ubiquitous knowledge. It was public knowledge that Vinicius Junior had won it. Everyone knew it, and it wasn't a hoax. It was really the truth. But what I'm thinking, we've not gotten the details yet, but what we are presuming is that there was news this morning that came out about Vinicius Junior having an exchange with Gavi last Saturday during the Clasico, where Gavi gestured this in a way to troll Vinicius as Barcelona had scored four against against Madrid. And Vinicius apparently retorted to say that, okay, you're doing this, but I'm going to win the Ballon d'Or on Monday. And what it has been made of is that that statement has been classified as a form of arrogant statement which contradicts the virtues that are expected of a Ballon d'Or winner, um, as per their criteria. Yeah, so in their criteria there is a part that talks about class and fair play, which I don't think Rodri exactly qualifies for, if we are being really honest, because Rodri is quite a brutal player and he commits a lot of cynical fouls on purpose. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. um Rodri, I see Isaac saying, you explain. I think everybody knows that Vinicius has been very hard done by, especially he being, pre-noted that he was gonna win it. He was pre-notified that he was gonna win it. I mean, if he didn't know that he was gonna win it, and it was just um a guess, something that people are just guessing around, that would be wouldn't be a big problem. But everybody thought that he was gonna win it until this morning. That it came out that he wasn't. And look, make no mistake about it. We've lost Cristiano, we've lost Messi, right? The best entertainers in football right now, the people who are holding the game for us right now, are people like Vinicius Jr. They're the people who are making football entertaining for us. The game we love so much. So if we go and we intentionally cultivate ways that devastate the morale of these players, we are inadvertently, ultimately hurting the game we love so much. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I don't have a problem with Vinicius not winning the Ballon d'Or. I've had a problem with this award scheme for about 6 7 years now. Yeah, but the truth remains that I do really feel that um okay, I see Yep saying it is what it is. Is that Ken? Ken, is that you? Long time no see. Yeah. But yeah, back to that. Yeah, Emmanuel comes in. Emmanuel says that this was just a grand scheme to humiliate Vinny. Exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, because exactly if you didn't think that the guy was gonna win it, why did you notify him that he was gonna win it and devastate the young boy? This man is the guy who is making football entertaining for us right now. Now, just look at how the official Ballon d'Or stream did, mocking Vinny. They posted Real Madrid's picture without Vinny in it. Exactly. Why would you do that? Such a grand award scheme. Why would you intentionally vilify one single player? It's just a youngster. Why would you do that? It's so unprofessional, if I'm being honest. Yeah? Okay, let's read what Isaac has to say. Isaac says they both played continental tournaments this year, and Vinny was very bad in that tournament. I agree with that. What about Carvajal? Carvajal won the Champions League, scored in the Champions League final, and also won the Euros, playing very, very well. So why has Carvajal been conveniently overlooked? This is the problem. Carvajal achieved more than Rodri. No questions about that. So why has Carvajal been overlooked? He's not even part of the first three. Now let's look at Lautaro Martinez. Yeah, Lautaro Martinez says something like Lautaro Martinez was the best player, top scorer in Serie A, was top scorer in Copa America, was won Serie A, won Copa America, and guess what? He's not even in the top five. You see what I'm talking about? So the award scheme, you can't really fathom what exactly is the parameters, what exactly is the metric that is being used to select these players. Now let's look at what Yep has to say. Yep says, can Vinny produce that evidence or call that he won? I don't know what you're trying to say. Yeah, Jahaza comes in and says, first, I think the social media account didn't remove Vinny intentionally. The picture was centered and maybe Vinny wasn't there. I don't agree with that. I really don't agree with that because there are so many pictures. Look, Vinicius is the face of Real Madrid. So if you're gonna post a picture and for any reason Vinny is not in that picture, you need to find a picture that includes Vinny. This is something that cannot be coincidental, especially after what happened with Vinny and the Ballon d'Or people this afternoon or this morning. I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think it was not deliberate. They deliberately removed him, 100%. I don't think they didn't do that on purpose. I think they did that on purpose. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So Yep comes back to say, can Vinny produce the evidence or call alerting him that he won? Okay, so I don't know what exactly I don't know if Vinny has evidence of that, but we being spectators, we have seen so many tabloids posting lots of pictures, making lots of posts, including Fabrizio Romano, who said that Vinicius had won. Yeah, so if you come to say that Vinicius has won it, and we heard Marsa also publishing that Vinicius had won, so clearly there was a time where Vinicius was the winner. So when did the voting or the results of the voting that had already finished change? Imagine a voting process that has already, concluded, and the results published, or not say, no, I wouldn't even say published, but communicated with some of the tabloids, some of the newspapers, some of the winners, right? And for some reason, the results of that vote, that poll has been changed. That speaks volumes about the credibility of this award scheme. This award scheme swore that nobody knew who was going to win, when Real Madrid was very, very unequivocal about the results this morning, when they said they were not traveling to France for the award. So it is very clear this award scheme, they don't have any credibility. There is nothing about them that is remotely believable. Okay, let's read some more comments. So Jahazio comes back to say, okay, let's see if we yeah, let's read Emmanuel's first. Emmanuel says, it was intentional. They even posted Shutter Bundle to mock Vinny. That is true as well. That is true as well, and that was in a way to replicate that meme been going around social media about Yamal, is that Yamal, Lamine Yamal holding Vinicius as a baby. Yeah, they tried to mock Vinny. How would such a big award scheme try to target such a little boy? It's so disgusting. An award scheme that has seen great players featuring it, targeting, antagonizing Vinicius Jr., who is a nobody in football history. Can you imagine? Now let's look at what Jahazio has to say again. Second, I think the other player who deserves that award is Carvajal. I totally agree with that. And Carvajal actually achieved a lot more than Rodri, because Carvajal won the league. Carvajal won the Champions League, was a Champions League final player of the match, was a Champions League final goal scorer as a defender, was an Euros winner. So Carvajal was really successful, more than Rodri. Rodri's peak was really not this season. Rodri's peak was last season when they won the treble. But obviously, they decided to give it to a certain Lionel Messi, didn't they? So why is it that now that Rodri wasn't really in his element, and I'm not saying he didn't do well, but he didn't make the Premier League team of the year. He didn't make the Champions League team of the year. How come he's Ballon d'Or winner? But it's fine. Rodri is a class act. If Rodri wins it, I'm not saying it's let's say something that we've never heard before. Is something that is overly ridiculous. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that there are people who deserved it more. Okay, let's read some more comments. Yeah. Jahazio, okay, Rodri is the best midfielder in the world. I don't agree with that. Yeah, because there's still Kevin De Bruyne playing football right now. So Rodri cannot be the best midfielder in the world. I'm sorry. You could say he's the best central, defensive midfielder, whatever they call it, holding midfielder. Then you'd have a different case. But Kevin De Bruyne is still in active football. He's by far the best midfielder in the world. The most key player for both club and country. Mm, 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 So is Vinicius. Yes, Vinicius is the most key player for Real Madrid. He is the most key player for the Seleção of Brazil. So it works both ways. Okay, just because he isn't an attacker doesn't mean he doesn't deserve it. It's the same way. Just because Carvajal isn't a midfielder or a forward doesn't mean he doesn't deserve it. He deserves it as well. Yeah. Okay. It is very fair that Rodri got it. I beg to differ. I really beg to differ. Now let's read what Sylvester has to say. Sylvester says, Marca published the news. Fabrizio didn't mention Vinny winning the award. I think Marca published the news. Fabrizio usually publishes news, and he quotes who actually published it. Yeah, he quotes what people have already published. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So Yep says exactly. So let's not say Fabrizio is not UEFA. Fabrizio is just a reporter. We can't really fault Fabrizio for anything. We can't do that. Yeah. Sylvester again says Carvajal didn't have any individual award to his name. Oh, So it's about individual awards now, huh? Then Jude Bellingham should have won it. Yeah? um, okay, Sylvester says again, the criteria had individual awards in there too. Individual awards in there. So if you're talking about individual awards, are you trying to speculate? Are you trying to suggest the Euros Player of the Year that Rodri won? Look, I'm not saying that Rodri winning the Ballon d'Or is absolutely ridiculous or it's appalling. It's out of this world. I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm saying in a different scenario, Rodri would probably be a deserving winner. But in this particular scenario, and especially with the things we're hearing coming from Real Madrid, it appears that there has been some kind of football political tussle, which has led to this kind of conundrum. That's what we are getting. So Rodri is a beneficiary of a very, let's say, complicated situation, a fight between two giants. That's what it appears to have happened, and many of you who have been my friends for a long time, who have been with me, you know how I feel about this awards. This specific awards for about 6-7 years now, with the exception of Karim Benzema's award. I don't see one of them which was correctly awarded. I really don't. You see, Haaland deserved it last year. Somehow he didn't get it. Benzema, obviously, he was far away from everyone else. So yeah, but let's read some more comments. This happened before to Rob Ribery. This is Yep speaking. This happened before to Ribery, Iniesta, many more who we believed should have won. This is absolutely true. Ribery had a stellar season in 2013. For some other reasons, for some reasons, he didn't win it. Iniesta definitely should have won it in 2010 when he won the World Cup. But guess who won it? You know who. Yeah? Industry boy. Now, Jahazio says Vinny did nothing for his country. That's not necessarily true. They got to the semifinal. So it's not really nothing. Yeah? They got to the semifinal of that Copa America. They got to the semifinal. Rodri contributed a lot for his country. I think it's very difficult to quantify what's a lot and what's not a lot, because if you're going to talk about numbers, that's a different ball game. If you're going to talk about contribution, that's a different ball game. If you're going to talk about contribution to tactics, that's a different ball game. Someone can even contribute without even playing. So it's really difficult to quantify how much someone is actually contributing. Do you know what I'm saying? Aguero was not a part of the team that won the World Cup in 2022, but he definitely contributed something. Yeah. So contribution, I think, is very difficult. Okay, so I have a Chinese here who says, how久 yeah 兄弟怎么样好久不见你还好吗 Okay, he said it's the worst Ballon d'Or award. I've never seen a worse one like that. It must have been Vinicius. 我跟你一样想，你的想法和我的想法是一样的。 Okay, look, no questions asked, no mistakes about it. This was Vinicius's award. Something has happened in between. Something that we are not privy to at the moment must have happened in between. Vinicius losing that award to 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 Rodri, who I'm not saying it's a bad player. I'm not saying Rodri is a bad player. And again, let me stress this. He could have been a deserving winner under different circumstances. But evidently, you could even see that he didn't even expect it. He probably was phoned in today in the morning when he was taking care of his knee, and obviously he had to come from the hospital, quickly fly into Paris. Yeah, let's read what Jahazo has to say some more. Yeah, Dean, yes, Dean, you're right. Yeah. Fact is, the top two nominees should be Carvajal and Rodri. All won more than Vinny. Both contributed more for country and club. End of story. Jahazil, I appreciate your point of view, but let's turn the table a little bit, right? In 2021, do you know what happened? In 2021, a certain guy called Jorginho, he won the Champions League. He was very instrumental, very pivotal to that team that won the Champions League in a very grand fashion. Yeah, the Chelsea team. He also went and won the Euros. Guess what? He didn't win the Ballon d'Or. I've always said that now in contemporary football, that European Best Player award is used as a compensatory award to commiserate people who actually deserve Ballon d'Or but are not industry boys. You know what I mean by industry boys, yeah? Because France football have a group, a catalog of players who they think, who they deem fit to be Ballon d'Or winners. Yeah? So if you're not that category, you're not in that category, you're not going to win it. And obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo is one guy who has, my goodness, he broke the odds. He broke because he's not an industry guy, but he was just too good to ignore. And that's exactly what's happening to Vinicius. Vinicius, if Mbappe did exactly what Vinicius did last season, Mbappe would be Ballon d'Or winner now. No questions asked. If Mbappe took France to the Euros semi-final, yeah, won the Champions League, didn't win the Euros, but won the Champions League, best player of the Champions League, yeah, Mbappe would be the Ballon d'Or winner now. Everyone knows that. But Vinicius Jr. does exactly the same thing. Some people say because of his nationality, a lot of, and some people are even questioning that, is it because of his race? Now, I think that's a bit too far-fetched to say it's because of race that he's been excluded from the Ballon d'Or. I think that's a bit too much, yeah? But all the same, it's also not totally preposterous because we have had 68 different Ballon d'Or winners in history. 68. And only two of them are black. Okay, probably not two. Probably not two because I know Gullit. Gullit also won it. Yeah. So let's say not more than five. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So there's an element of tokenism in there. Presumably, I'm not saying for a fact. I don't really understand the whole nuances of how it used to be selected back in the day in the 60s and in the 70s. So it's quite difficult to say. But definitely, you could identify some elements of tokenism, some tokenistic elements in there. You see? So, again, it's hard to say. Thierry Henry. Someone is asking me, which other black player did you did you think deserved to win Ballon d'Or? In my opinion, I think Thierry Henry should have definitely won at least one Ballon d'Or, most definitely. In 2003, Thierry Henry was a good shout. In 2004, when Arsenal went unbeaten and got that invincible trophy, yeah, do you know who won the Ballon d'Or? Andrei Shevchenko. So, like I say, it's always not, it's when someone says it's because of color, it's I wouldn't say yes I agree with that person, but I wouldn't say that the person is being ridiculous because it looks like it's a spectrum and it probably carries some degree of truth, but it's really difficult to ascertain to what degree or if there is any at all. Yeah? Okay, let's read some more about Sylvester. Sylvester says, because in my opinion, Henry should have won over Nedved. Exactly. In 2003, Henry could have won over Nedved, but he didn't. In 2004, the Ballon d'Or went to, can you guess who? In 2004, Ballon d'Or went to Andrei Shevchenko, who I'm not saying was a bad player, but we all know the caliber of player Henry was as compared to Shevchenko. So, yeah. Sylvester says small, but can't cast my mind to which other black player should have won it and got snubbed. In 2004, the Italian league had much dominance and relevance like the English league today. Shevchenko played well that year. 2004 is arguable, but Arsenal went unbeaten. Arsenal went unbeaten. This is something that you don't do in the top five leagues. You see, especially at the Premier League level, to go unbeaten. But Arsenal did it. You see, so to give it to Shevchenko, I don't think in 2004 the Italian league was superior over the Premier League. I don't think so. Yeah. So I do think that like I said, people who are saying it's because of color, I think it's a bit far fetched. I really do think so. But then again, I also think that um this is probably a very long, convoluted spectrum, which we probably won't really be able to ascertain how far of a degree of let's say veracity this carries. You know what I'm saying? I think we probably shouldn't even go in there because it's too complicated. We can't really let's think of some black players who have played really well and probably to the Ballon d'Or level. Samuel Eto'o came in the era of who? Um Samuel Eto'o came in the era of Ronaldinho, yeah. So obviously Ronaldinho was superior, and he's one of the two contemporary black players who have won the Ballon d'Or. Who else? Who else? Black players, black players. But yeah, you could go on and on and on and on and on. But Vinicius didn't win it. It's quite a shame for me. I think it's a shame for football because he's the brightest spot in football today. People are saying that the name of Vinicius argument didn't even start because Vinicius eventually didn't win it. But let me remind you, Neymar was never second. Vinicius is second. So if you want to go in that tangent, then we would say, but at the same time, I do feel that Vinicius has more work to do to reach the the peak of Neymar back in the day. Yeah, I don't think Vinicius is quite there yet. I think his shooting needs some improvement. But again, I really feel that with this devastating news, it might affect the boy. You see, football is not just played with the feet. Football needs your whole, yeah, including your psyche, including your mood, yeah. With this devastating news, I feel that the boy might start to become injury prone. I just have that inkling because when the player feels this level of I wouldn't say hatred, but he feels, you know, extremely antagonized by people in very high positions. Yeah. And I think that will probably have a toll on his psyche, which will translate to a toll on his um on his physique and probably eventually because in football everything is in unison. Your mental ability and your physical ability work, you know, in harmony, in unison. When one is behind, especially if you have a good physique, but your mind is not there, you will eventually get injured. And that's what I'm currently praying that Vinicius, he takes it well, he gets some good people around him, and he's able to go on and show the world what he's got because he's such a bright talent, such a bright spot. Now, Benzema says Ballon d'Or wasn't even relevant till Sepp Blatter merged it with his own ulterior motive. That is very true. Ballon d'Or kind of used to be like the Dubai d'Or back in the day because before what we had was the best. Yeah, we used to have FIFA best, and FIFA best was usually R9 those guys. Yeah, but Ballon d'Or became a thing in 2007 2008 when they merged the two, Ballon d'Or and the best. Yeah, but now obviously they have separated them again. But because Ballon d'Or became the main name for the two, the merging of the two, it's become a household name again. So yeah, that's very true. Um, Jahazia says Sylvester is spot on. Great take. Now Sylvester goes on to say, if for anything, I think the reason Vinny was snubbed was because of the Super League Madrid tried creating, because there was no report that it got changed from the angle of UEFA. Well, you do. You might have a very good point there. You might have a very good point there. But this award scheme is not really orchestrated by UEFA, is it? I don't think this is by UEFA. This is by FIFA. Ballon d'Or is by the France Football Federation. So I don't think that's from by UEFA. But obviously, they probably might have ties with UEFA. Let's read what Sylvester has to say again. It 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 can be an attempt to show Madrid who has the final say because this is pure politics. But then again, kudos to Rodri. DMs are now getting recognized. Hopefully, McTominay wins the next Ballon d'Or. My goodness. Oh. Oh Lord, this guy is so funny. Who? McTominay? No, he's not a bad player. Let's see what happens in the near future. Yeah. So yeah, Vinicius didn't win the Ballon d'Or, unfortunately. Let's see if McTominay is able to win it. Yeah. But if it's really because of politics, like Sylvester is suggesting, then it's a sad day for football, because like I said, the tussle between two giants, and Vinicius is just the unfortunate culprit. Yeah. But then Vinicius has posted something on his Instagram saying that if I have to do it 10 times, I'll do it. So I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but if it has something to do with his gestures or his behavior on the field, then that's something that needs to be looked at. Yeah. Okay, guys. We have to go because if we keep talking about Vinicius, we're just gonna get more and more sad. But unfortunately, he couldn't win the Ballon d'Or. Hopefully, sometime in the future, he's able to win it. Hopefully, this serves as more motivation for him to come back even stronger. So let's see how strong the boy is if he really wants the Ballon d'Or. Oh, let's see if it's written in the stars. One last thing from Sylvester before we go. Sylvester says, yeah, it's from FIFA, but the report says the decision was influenced by an entourage from UEFA. Oh, I see. I see that. But by the way, what's on Bellingham placing third? Pedri, get serious, bro. Get serious. Okay, guys, let's end it here. Yeah, we will continue some other time. All right. Thank you for joining and have a blessed night. Bye now. Bye bye.